So, my top 5. At number 5, Machi Koro. What is a gaming list for the holidays without a filler game? This is a game from Pandasaurus Games and it's available between 20 and 30 euros. The goal of the game is to build all sightseeing projects. The player who does this the quickest wins the game. There is a market that is filled with buildings that you can build, but they cost money. All buildings earn revenue based upon the roll of a dice. You start off with just 1 die, and once you have built a certain site, you can get 2 dice. There are blue, green, purple and red buildings in the market. Green buildings give you coins when you roll the required number yourself. Blue buildings give you money when you or another player rolls the required number. Purple buildings give you money from all other players when you roll the required number. And red buildings let you steal money from players that roll the required number. This is a fast game where at times you feel like you have some control of the income you have, even if it's a dice game. The expansion of Machi Koro are a no-brainer. At number 4 we will find Birmingham, a game from Roxley Games, and it's available between 70 and 80 euros. This is a Euro game in its finest hour. Brass is set up in 2 eras. An era with canals and an era with trains. You need to build buildings to create wealth and victory points. But the connections between cities can give players a lot of victory points too. Players get cards. On those cards are building types or the name of a city. Players can build 6 different types of buildings. Coal and iron, trade crates, cotton buildings, beer and pottery. All buildings can be built, but they need to be flipped. In the case of coal and iron, flipping is done by filling the market, or players can use your resources to build their own buildings. Flipping a building earns income and in most cases victory points. Other buildings can only be flipped by trading goods. This game is a master in letting you down. Just when you think you have the perfect next move, another player disrupts your plan by building a building or placing a connection between cities, or even worse, using your beer. The switching between eras and adjusting your play style is fantastically. This game deserves a place on a shelf in every home. At number 3 we will find Eclipse Second Dawn, a game from Lauta Pellet, and it's available between 125 and 135 euros. This is a 4X game set in space. The game can be played with all players on equal starting levels or with a race and its starting bonus. There is a big variety of races you can play with, each having their own unique quirks, like not having to fight neutral monsters or just having a boatload of money. In Eclipse Second Dawn you try to build your empire at the cost of neutral races and or other players. Exploring new planet systems can reward players with newfound technology. This can be used to upgrade your ships to glass cannons or tanks. But technology can also be used to get extra resources, or maybe you have found rare technology that only you can possess. While expanding your empire can give you more income in the form of money, you can also get more raw materials needed to build ships or resource points needed to upgrade your weapons. But players need to place a marker for every base they have built or action they have taken. The first 2 actions or planets you have are free. After that you will be paying upkeep, and that can cost you a lot of money very fast. This game is all about having a good strategy and adapting to changes. There is a lot of fun in exploring the galaxy and upgrading your fleet with cool tech. Also, the battles are very entertaining. Eclipse Second Dawn does a lot of things very well, but at the cost of a very steep price. At number 2 we will find Anno 1800, a game from Cosmos, and it's available between 45 and 55 euros. We have made a review about this game, which you can watch here if you want to know more about the game. This game requires you to fulfill the wishes of your subjects. The player with the most victory points wins. There are many ways to get victory points, and it's not always clear who might be having the highest score. The game revolves around worker placement and trading with other players. Players have to build buildings to make goods. Your subjects might need these goods, and once you fulfill their wishes, they will give you victory points and a bonus. These bonuses can be upgrading workers to a higher tier or getting workers of a certain tier for free. You also have a war and a merchant fleet. One is for exploring and the other is for trading. Anno 1800 is a very fun Euro game. Games are always exciting because you're never quite sure who's on top. Games are never the same, that is because of the different objective cards that you can have, the different starting hands and the fact that exploring the new and old world locations are random. At number 1 we will find Blood Rage, a game from Simon, and it's available between 80 and 90 euros. Ameritrash games are usually not my highest scoring games. I don't mind playing them, but I always have trouble deciding if and when to attack. I'm a bit too much of a passive player, but not in Blood Rage. Here, losing a battle can be part of a genuine strategy. This game is fast-paced but doesn't feel rushed. There are many different strategies to play. The game is divided in 3 tiers that all play the same but with different ability cards. The cards get stronger the higher tier the game gets. When you play Blood Rage, you're playing it wrong if you're not playing it on draft mode. The tension builds up when you give your cards to the player next to you. Cards that you wanted for yourself actually. But since you only have 2 cards to choose from, you have to put all your other cards to the player next to you. And now you're waiting for the cards from the other person to your right. Will you get any good cards? This game has a good balance between the amount of units you can have on the board at the same time and the amount of Blood Rage. Let's call these your action points. The glory track is less important in my opinion, but it has its use. It will give you victory points along the track around the game. The battles in this game are always tight. The unit strength you're fighting against, you can count that. But the cards your opponent will play is always a mind game. Will he accept that he will lose this battle and just play some random card? Or will he undermine my card and let us draw new cards? Or will he just have a huge strength buff card? This is always exciting. This game will make most players' hearts skip a beat when they've played through a session. This game sticks in your head and you will think of new strategies to win next time. Even if it's in a conversation with your boss. Hooray for Ragnarok!